This is just a short video on how you can create a Microsoft Sway. First, you'll have to go into your Launchpad. You'll notice that we don't have Sway in our Launchpad to begin with. So we need to go to App Library. Once you're inside App Library, you're going to be searching for Sway. Once you've searched, the tile should appear. Once you click the tile, just click Add to my Launchpad, and then go back to your Launchpad, and the tile should be there. Once we've clicked on it, it should open up Microsoft Sway. Now we will get three options. You get Create New, Start from a Topic, and Start from a Document. But first, I'm going to show you one I've made up for my first years for their design and technology. As you can see, there are different cards for images, embedded documents, videos, and different tutorials. If I press play up here in the corner, I'll also get to see how the pupils can get to view this. Now, as you can see, the embedded documents don't show up, but I'll come to that later on in the tutorial. Now, if I click video, the video will buffer and then eventually load. Now, this is just a tutorial to help our first years build the CAD models on Autodesk Inventor, which is useful enough if I'm in the classroom and I'm having to help another pupil. Then pupils who need help can also access these videos as a way not to spread myself too thinly in the class. It's also a good idea to even put up what success should look like for some of these projects that the kids are doing. Again, this doesn't need to strictly be as an aid for teaching. You can also use this as a folio as well. So this could be used for design folios, or even just collating a project, a research project. So to start, we're going to click Create New. You'll get what's called the headline title. We're just going to call this Create Your Own Sway. If we click where it says background, we can also add in a background as well. So if I type in Microsoft Sway suggested, it should use Bing images to bring up some images. I need to click on one and then click add, and that's as easy as that. And if we go to design, we can see how it should look when the pupils come to view it. In any text card that you get, you can also change what we call emphasis and accent. We'd know these as bold and italics on Word usually. It's just a different language. We can also go into the details and add in our own logos. If we click Add Logo, Photo Library, and I'm just going to scroll down to an album I've got here called East Bank, and just pop the East Bank logo in. Once we check it, we can check it on design, and we can now see the little logo comes in just on top of that background image that we placed on that title card. Now, if we go to the plus symbol underneath, we can now start to look at how we add a heading 1. So we just type in heading 1. This just creates like a brand new heading. I'm going to call this one Images, and select just any old image there from the Bing one as a background image. Now, we're going to show you how to add an image. So the plus symbol and then click Image. It says drag an image here, but there are different ways of doing this. You can use what's called the suggested, which just takes them from Bing, or you can also take them from your device, and you can also take them from your OneDrive if you've been storing any photos on your OneDrive from your iPad. Now, just for the benefit of this, I'm going to use this 1-point perspective drawing. Now, while we're waiting it loading up, I'm just going to type in the caption here and call it 1-point perspective. If we click on design, we can now see the photo and its caption and just how the actual Sway document looks. Now, these ones here, these little squares, are what we call the intensity. Now, it goes from light, moderate to intense, or emphasis is another way Microsoft Sway likes to call it. We can also change the focus points if they don't come in fully, You can click the entire image is important, or click on different parts, and it'll give you a little preview on the iPad and phone preview underneath of how these should look. But for the purpose of this, I'm going to make the whole image important. As you can see now, the full image comes in. If I do it to the high, which is intense, the highest emphasis, we can see there's not much of a difference in these, but that might just be due to the image. The caption just seems to change. Now if we hit the plus symbol again, this time we are going to look at how we group images. So first I'm just going to click automatic. Now here we can just put in as many images as we want, and we can do it from the suggested images. So just for the purpose of this, I'm just going to add in a few images I have. Once you have 4 images in a group, again you've got your emphasis, your focus points you can use on the images. If we go to design, we can see how the stack looks. The automatic stack just has the photos stacked on top of each other. As easy as that. If we go back to the storyline, we can change this by clicking on the group automatic, and we can go group type, and we get different variations. So a stack is as simple just like a stack of photographs that when you click on it they move. It's a nice feature. We can also go to a group type, a grid. Pupils might be familiar with this through stuff like apps for organising photos into grids for Instagram. We can also do slideshows that we see quite a lot on websites. We just need to click through the images. And we can also do a slideshow with a preview. That's also seen on many websites and journal articles. Now from slideshows, there's also one last one, it's called comparison. This is where we use 2 photos to compare. Now to do this, I'm going to do it separately, and I'm going to select 2 images that I have currently stored away on my device. These are just 2 CAD photos. Now, one is just a normal CAD photo, one is being one that ray tracing, or what we call a render, has been applied to. Now we can do this as a way of showing the pupils how good practice should look. Now remember, if your images don't come in to your group as you've seen there, you just click and drag them into place. And there can be little times where photos might jump out in other groups, but they're easy to click and drag and fix. So now if I go to design, you'll see how that looks, and we get a little slider. We slide back and forward, we then get to see the difference between the 2 images. This can be used for a variety of different projects. It could even be a beach before and after pollution, just as an idea. Now we're finished with kind of how to add in images. We're going to go to suggested and click a heading 1. Or heading 2. So we've shown how to do heading 1. Heading 2 is what we call like a sub-heading. So this one's called add text. So it's easy, text is in your suggested or it's in the text column. Here you can copy and paste text from internet, resources, textbooks, whatever the source is. You can copy and paste or type it up at your own leisure. Obviously if you're using your iPad or laptop and dictation is enabled, you can also use your own microphone to dictate the text as well. If we go to plus now, I'm going to add in a heading 1, and we're going to say how to add videos. Now videos can easily be tutorials, you can add them from your own machine, or you can add them from your suggested. Now when I click plus, media and then video, you'll notice that suggested changes from images to videos straight away. Now Microsoft Sway just uses YouTube as far as I'm aware, so I'm just going to search YouTube, search Microsoft Sway, see if there's any YouTube videos. Now again, you can add videos from your device, from your iPad, your laptop. As you can see, that's how it would come in on the Sway. If you press play, you'll start to see that the video starts to play through the YouTube player that becomes embedded on the Sway. Now again, this can be used for tutorials, it can be used as helper videos, or even the pupils putting up videos themselves of work they've been doing, if it's an online folio approach. Again, just like photos, we can change the emphasis between light. Now we're going to show you how to put in an embedded document. So we go to media and embedded card. Now to do this, I'm going to go back to my Glow Launchpad. Here we'll be able to put in something from our OneDrive, so it could be a Word or a PowerPoint document. As you can see, Sway closed down through Safari. But don't worry about the Sway, we'll come back to that in a little second. So if we find first the Microsoft Word document we want to use, if I go into my shared technical folder here, I can find the workshop code of conduct, which is something our first years are asked to sign at the start of the year for their health and safety. It's important to do this on Word Online, as it doesn't seem to allow you this function on the desktop Word. If we go to share, it'll give you embedded. Now in here we can change the interaction to let people print it, let people see the embedded code, and start on whatever page. We also get a preview of what that little embedded document will look like, and what functions like print the PDF, embedded information, terms of use, privacy and cookies, and even full screen mode. This just gives you an idea how that should look. So all you got to do is copy the embedded code, which is what we call an iframe code, which is the only kind of code that Microsoft Sway documents seem to accept. So once you've copied it, you will now notice if I go back to Sway, it's not logged in. Now, occasionally it does do that, you just have to click it off and click it back on again, until eventually you get this. As you can see, our Sway document's not lost, it saves automatically, which is one of the big benefits of Microsoft Sway. Once we paste in our embedded code, you'll then notice, if I go to design, you'll now notice how our Sway document now, final document now looks. But this little SharePoint Online character comes up and asks you to sign in. If you click the sign in, it will tell you that you've logged on to Office 365, but nothing happens. This is because for whatever reason Safari is still struggling to support embedded documents on Sway. Hopefully it'll be sorted very soon with some updates. But if I go to the Google Chrome app on the iPad, once I'm inside Google Chrome, I'm able to click Sway. Now as you notice, Chrome doesn't actually, only gives you two options, create new and start from topic. Don't know why, it's very strange. But as you can see, everything's the same. And if we click play this time, and we scroll down, we'll get asked to do the same thing. Once we click sign in, it'll do its usual, log into 365, and very quickly you'll see the embedded Word document now comes up. Now you can do this with Word, PowerPoint as shown in an earlier example. Hopefully this will get updated with Safari very soon. I think it's just a connection between SharePoint and Sway with Safari. So if I show you now the S1 Design Technology, as you can see, the workshop code of conduct's there. Everything else is there, same as before, including all the animations and the gallery. But then if I go down to the bridge building, the PowerPoint should appear. This could be useful as you could put PowerPoints up for notes, and pupils can easily make their way through them. Again, you can even have links copy and pasted on. Unfortunately, the little bridge building game here, Apple doesn't support the flash drive that it needs, but if they're on the computers, that's easy enough to click onto. Now we're done with that, we're going to learn how to start from a topic. In order to do this, you just click start from topic. Now it uses Wikipedia, which is not usually a resource we'd ever recommend to the young people in our classrooms, but that's what Microsoft Sway has chosen to use. So if I type in Microsoft Sway, create outline. Now let's say if I download one of these, I just click Office Sway and create outline. Now, the only difference here is it'll only give you a title card and some headlines or heading ones. It will not give you much more than that. It might give you some suggestions from time to time, and it'll give you a references part. But the rest of the text is mainly for you. But this could be a good idea if you're struggling to know how to set out. That at least gives you some sort of start. The last one is start from a document. Now you could use a PDF, newsletter, anything you normally do in PDFs. You can spruce them up by putting them on Sway and just sharing a link. If I click on the Glasgow City Council digital strategy, what it'll do, this will pick all the text, the images, anything else that may appear on that PDF document, and it'll make it into a Microsoft Sway document. It'll make it into heading 1 cards, text cards, image cards, video cards, whatever's on there. Even logos as well. It'll even go into a logo card if it picks anything like that out. It automatically picks up bold text, italic text, obviously it's known as emphasis and accent on Microsoft Sway. If you click play, we can see all the animations. This is how you would view this if you'd clicked on the link. You can click the images, everything's there that was on that PDF. Even the links. One of the last things you can do when we're on design, we can also click where it says styles in the right hand corner. We can go between vertical, which we've seen already, horizontal, which means if you want to swipe across the screen, swipe your way through a folio, or you can do it as slides, just like Microsoft PowerPoint, if that's something you prefer. You can also change the styles, such as the colour scheme. There's many colour schemes you can choose from. You can change fonts to different fonts that you may like. You also may wish to change the animation emphasis, so how quickly the animation comes in, and even text size, if you want the text to be really, really big. You can even change the theme. I'm going to pick this one because it's very close to the Glasgow City Council green. As you can see, there's still animations there, all the text is still there, and very legible. You can even go back, if you go back to that Sway that we created, the create your own Sway. You can even log it back in, and you can go in and change the design on that as well, from your horizontal, vertical and your slides. You can even change the themes, how it should look. And as you can see, some of these themes have backgrounds to them that make them very interesting to engage with. Lastly, we can also share them. Now we can do this with specific groups of people. You put their email addresses in, those within your organisation with a link, and anyone with a link. The anyone with a link allows you to share it to social media. Anyone from your organisation, you just have copied that little icon there. If you want them to edit, you can also require a password. So if you click that, you can set a password. If you want to protect this way, or invite people just to view it. Again, this can also be password protected as well. Again, you just have to click copy. You can click visual link. You want to send a visual link by email. You can even get an embedded document as well.